Okay, I found it. It was in a bucket of rock. Go figure. Why was it in a bucket of rock? I don't know. I do know that things are starting to look kind of bleak for this particular high quality series of instructional flaking. It might turn into one of these how much wood would a freeze crack chuck if a freeze crack can't knap wood? I think depending upon who you are as a viewer, that was either one of the funniest things you ever heard or one of the lamest things you've ever heard. I don't think it's me. I think it's the particular mindset of you, the viewer. I could be wrong though, it could be me. What I'm trying to do here is, the reason I switched to the leather was to try and get it to where, in spite of the likelihood of stuff stepping on leather, I was trying to get it to make it where I could thin a little better. Get a flake to run a skosh further. Yes, I said it, a skosh. This is going to be real authentic looking. Except for the fact that it will lack the powerful flaking of the old boys who probably had Popeye forearms, unlike moi. You know, I go back and I watch other people's videos because the more I learn, then the more I can understand and learn from other people's stuff than I used to be able to. We're fixing to flute this sucker, but not well. And one of the things, of course, I learned, you're like, hey, wait a minute, I understand why that worked. That worked because that guy's strong. So when I see that kind of stuff and I recognize that, I'm like, oh crap, well, I gotta figure out a different way. Wonder if this is gonna hinge. Wonder if I can even support this. Nope. Well, it did some good. You know, it came down to there. It's not your traditional big old bad flute, but it thinned a bit. I need to start carrying this sucker out. Yeah, you heard it here first. I made Gary a verb. Somehow I feel like I ought to be punching this because I really feel like I don't want a bunch of anemic little pressure flakes on it. One of the you may have realized by now that I have theories. I always have theories, and I have lots of theories. One of the theories is I'm freaking getting hot in the sun, but that's another issue. One of the things that bothers me about the disrespect that I see afforded to Gary's, which isn't the same thing as theories, is that I think the Gary was a very successful type tool, both from a standpoint of successful and being able to be manufactured in spite of difficult, if not impossible situations, rocks and tools and size and all that kind of stuff, rock quality. But that rounded off base is stronger and less likely to break than one that's, you know, deep notch that has a sharp corner in it. But the other thing is that I think in particular when you're working petrified wood and you're fighting the wood's natural grain, making a thicker point makes sense, and the reason it does is because when you use a steeper angle, more like a beveling angle, you're going across the grain and you're not going into the grain, and it doesn't tend to break out along the wood's natural grain as much. So actually, from a technological standpoint, it's easier to do what I'm doing right here. I'm going steeper and I'm cutting across the plane, and so it's not busting out along the natural wood plane like it would if I was just flaking right into that plane. And after I say stuff, I always go back and watch the videos and ask myself, can I really publish this with this kind of lame statements and thinking in it? The answer is frequently, yeah, go ahead. What do I care? Not like it's a job application. You may say to yourself, is he trying to make a good Gary base? What do you consider a good Gary base? I think so far it's looking very authentic. Oh yeah, I could go throw this thing out just like this and people would find it and be all happy for at least 10-15 minutes. Dancing around. By the way, I wouldn't do that. Where's my other abrader? Oh. I can tell I'm already overthinking this point. I should have just knocked it out and had it be all funky and weird. And man, I wonder if I can take that flake, because I really kind of need this one to go. And this is all messing up along the grains of the wood. So either go or it won't. And it kind of did and kind of didn't because of the grains of the wood. How authentic. Dang, y'all. What's the worst Gary you ever found? Just curious. No, there's no reason I'm asking. I'm just curious. Dang. I might ought to not quit my day job. Wait. This is my day job. My only job. We'll say, what do you do? I'm a flint knapper. What'd you used to do? I was waiting to be a flint knapper. Yeah. See, I want to hit this thing, but I keep asking myself, well, if I hit it, is it going to work? Sun's already messing me up with changing directions. That ain't even taking flakes. Ooh, that was semi-powerful. Okay, this isn't looking real. This looks like crap. This may be a video where I, at the end, instead of posting a picture of the point like I usually do, I'll just tell you, use your imagination as to how wonderfully it came out. Dang it. This stuff is tough stuff. You get down them little edges and try and make your little platform and hit it. A lot of the time it don't go. Because the other part is just being able to hold it tight enough. You know, I say I won't go throw these things out on the gravel bars or something, but you know, I don't know. This one seems to be. Seems to be trying to provoke me. And it's doing that right as the sun is failing me. But I shall prevail. Once I was afraid I was petrified. Get it? Petrified? Didn't know if I could beat this wood or if it would have my hide. Ooh, that was so good. That flake ran from there all the way over there because me and the leather are buds from way back. Because I saved its life that time. You say, what do you mean you saved its life that time? I say, well, one time somebody was after it and I said, quick, cowhide. Get it? Cowhide? Actually, I don't even know what this is. That probably is cow, maybe. But not necessarily. That's probably not cow. That's like scaleless lizard or something. So, I'm starting to understand why you find so many broken and unfinished Garys. But instead of trying to figure out why the old boy accidentally broke it, now I'm going to start thinking in terms of why the old boy intentionally broke it. But the leather's helping. And it's so weird, a lot of rocks, you get into them, you fight them, you get into them, and at some point, once you get into them, it's like all of a sudden they start cooperating, and it's so weird. It's like the rock decides it's jacked with you enough and is gonna quit goofing around. Sure would like to take another flake across that, but don't know if there's any point in doing that because it might just continue the problem that it started. What an annoying rock. I don't want anybody thinking that I didn't realize that petrified wood might be the wrong thing to nap on camera. I know how petrified wood is. I'm going to try and take another flake here just because. Semi sort of worked. Semi sort of. Right back.